If my career as an athlete has taught me anything, you never truly know what's waiting for you around the corner. With big races like UTMB, it's how you learn to react that counts.
Welcome to UTMB, the world's most prestigious ultra. 100 miles through Alps across 3 countries, climbing and descending at greater heights than Mount Everest uninterrupted.
I guess you could say I didn't have the typical path into trail running.
For the first 15 years of my career, I was a professional cyclist.
How much you could fine-tune every aspect of your performance.
At 36, I had this wild idea. I told my wife, hey, I think I want to try ultra running.
You know, this idea of running 100 miles I just thought was absurd, but I wanted to see if I could do it.
If he's gonna work as hard as he can, he'll just go. He'll go as long and as far and as hard and as high as he can. This is his life calling. There's no roof.
Consistency is the key to training, right? I mean, you want to be able to just consistently put in the work day after day. It's a lot more important than having one hero block or one hero training session and then being injured, because injuries suck.
Last year at UTMB, it was so hard to watch. He fell and he shattered his kneecap. And he didn't know if he was gonna run again, how long it's gonna take.
I fractured my patella, so I broke my kneecap vertically.
And so I came home one day and he's bought a rowing machine. The altitude tent, his hand coolers, all these different gadgets. And it's a testament to, like, every day how hard he's trying to be the best. Every single gadget is for that 0.001% that maybe can make him a better runner.
What I would love from UTMB is
to try to get the best result that I can. So I really need to stick to the program. So right now it's really about working on that runnable stuff.
For me, it's not just about the training. It's about being smarter with everything that can make me stronger on those runnable sections. The goal is to be more efficient, to move better, and part of that comes down to the shoes.
Really interesting is this gravel shoe that we're developing using some really interesting foams that you generally find in road super shoes. The gains are quite significant. So that shoe is something that I'm considering for UTMB, specifically on some very runnable sections. I think it could be a big game changer.
Cycling taught me that speed is rarely one big thing. It's hundreds of tiny things. Aerodynamics, rolling resistance, position on the bike, fueling, temperature. How efficiently you move through space. I always loved that side of it, the tinkering, trying to produce more speed with less energy.
Running is much different. You know, if you have a shoe that's a few % faster than another one, that's a pretty significant amount of time. We've been doing a lot of testing, efficiency testing with different shoes.
And when I came into trail running, I realized the sport was still young enough that there was so much left unexplored. People think of running as simple, just shoes and suffering, but over 20 hours, a few % becomes enormous.
It was really an exploration into these different training modalities that I wanted to try.
That's what fascinated me. Not just training harder, training smarter, testing, fueling, efficiency, double threshold work, lab data, biomechanics, shoes, trying to understand where energy disappears and how to hold on to it a little longer. But that earlier race injury, the fracture, shifted the focus of training. I had the same unwavering commitment, but suddenly all that obsession and all that optimization is channeled into something completely different. Because now you're not searching for performance gains, you're searching for answers.
You want to check the knee? You wanna do
Yeah,
that?
let's have a look at it.
I would really like to race, but the reality is I can't.
You know, it really kind of broke me mentally and physically, because that race I really pushed until I couldn't do anymore. Like I really pushed to failure, both failure physically and mentally. It was very, very difficult. I didn't even want to, like I couldn't run. Like physically I couldn't run. I really felt like I was done. You know, I wasn't really interested in racing anymore.
The one beautiful thing about the process is to see how fast he can switch, how fast he can accept this is no longer working. And when that is accepted, okay, so what's next?
At a certain moment, it was clear for me that I couldn't race UTMB.
I was constantly trying to solve it. Is it the knee? Is it the quad? Is it a nerve? But once I knew, okay, this is not possible, there was relief in that. You know, I could stop negotiating with it. I think people imagine the hardest part of injury is not racing. But for me, racing was never really the point. The training was always the thing I loved most. Just moving through the mountains, learning new terrain, feeling yourself evolve little by little. The goals almost justify it to the outside world, but internally, the real goal was always much simpler. I just wanted to ride my bike every day. I just wanted to run in the mountains, and now maybe that changes shape a little bit. Maybe I can't run for 5 hours, okay? Then I walk for 5 hours.
Small evolutions of yourself are really what I'm kind of going after.
And honestly, that was always the important part anyway.
I think having that block of reflection allowed me to then figure some things out for myself and what I wanted to do, what I want from sport, what I want from life, realizing that it's okay to stop or step away if you want. It's not that trail running defines who you are as a person. You have a lot of other things in your life.
Is there something you think that you can still work on, or something that you think you're missing?
Mainly being able to train well with no injury, no like stopping.
Yeah.
Well, I think one thing that UTMB did for me, it gave me a new level of, like I really kind of pushed into learning more about myself.
Salomon invited me to manage the International Next Gen program.
And to be here now has only come from that. What this project I think is allowing me to do is share the knowledge that I've had. Working with the young athletes has always been something that I enjoyed. Even in the international team, you know, they have that excitement. They're curious. They're really looking to make that step.
Pulling out of UTMB felt like the end of something. You can never really prepare for that moment when your body can't do what you need it to. There's a version of that where everything stops. And there's a version where everything changes. The drive didn't go anywhere. I'm putting it into someone else's dream. And selfishly, nothing's really changed. It's still the same question. What does it take to be the best?